Hey guys, it's Siobhan with ToKittyandBeyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing 2021 readings. This is a big reading. It's a year ahead, so we're going to be looking at each individual month in 2021 and the energy that is presenting for you over the course of that year. So I do recommend that you watch your sun, moon, and rising sign videos. I know that they're all going to be quite long, so you might want to save them and watch them month by month or however you see fit. This reading is for Gemini, and that can apply to Gemini Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Venus, whatever you resonate with, or if you resonated as a Gemini, or you're probably here for a reason. There's some messages here for you. So just take what resonates. These are general readings for the collective. Not everything's going to resonate. And let's just see what comes up. So I'm going to pull some cards, and we will see you in the reading. All right, so let's get into the reading for January for Gemini. You have the Three of Wands from the Cat Tarot. So this is kind of you guys really standing in your ability to communicate well with others on projects. I also see this as you guys kind of starting something new or playing with a new creative idea. Maybe you're launching it or you want to share it with the world in some way in January. It feels very creative and very wealth building. So you might be working on some project that's going to bring you abundance. Oh, and the second card we have is the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, this is something that's going to be really abundant for you, specifically in January. So, you know, if you get inspiration to share something that you've created or to work on a project, that's going to be very fruitful for you. So definitely pursue that. What do you need to release to be able to do that? The waning moon is all about letting go of things. So what is holding you back from being able to reach your goals and to really come to this sense of completion when it comes to your financial security, your legacy, what you're creating, what you feel passionate about, and what creatively sparks your interest? And then how you share that with others or share that with the world. So what do you need to release that's holding you back from that? And then you have yin energy. So yin energy is all about being in the feminine essence, which is receptivity, being able to feel really deeply too. So using that feeling and that receptivity to be able to allow things to come to you. So I feel like you're going to be really inspired in January. You might be wanting to start something new, and it's because you gain this level of inspiration that you didn't really have leading up to this. Maybe you went through a period of stagnancy leading up to January, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, now I feel really creative and I want to make something. And there's this long-term sort of goal in mind of how you're going to do that, how you're going to make that happen. So embrace feeling, embrace your sensitivity, embrace your inner intuition. Oh, you also have acceptance of love. So this could be accepting love from a female, whether it's platonic or within a relationship dynamic that is, you know, non-platonic. This is something to accept. The yin energy is very receptive and accepting, and so acceptance of this love is on the table for you, and it's just kind of, what do you need to release to be able to welcome that in? It could be in relation to your family as well, because the Ten of Pentacles can relate to family relations. So this could be welcoming you know, love from a family member, a female family member in particular. Maybe there's something that needs to be released from the past within that relationship so that you can let go and forgive and welcome in the love that you deserve. The last card you have for January is the Untamed. So this is a really wild energy that allows you to tap into that constant fluid power. That's that yin essence again. So it's allowing that to be expressed through you in a really wild and almost unpredictable way, and just allowing that flow of creativity to spark your interest or your inspiration and be able to express that without limiting yourself. Maybe some of those things that need to be released were programs that were from female family members, or there was masculine wounding, which would have resulted in you suppressing your feminine aspect. So if it felt unsafe for you to feel, oftentimes what will happen is that we have a wound around that and we put up all of these barriers and walls of protection around our heart. So there's something there that needs to be released in January so that you can really step into your power when it comes to creating something and healing something within your family unit, if that's, on the table. If not, then it's just healing it within yourself so that you can manifest abundance. Because I talk about this all the time when it comes to doing shadow work and healing your heart. You're releasing not only emotional blocks, but blocks to financial abundance as well. So the more energy that you can release that's holding you back, the more you will have when it comes to resources energetically to create the physical resources that you're looking for. So allow that energy to be untamed. It's beautiful. Okay, so let's go to February. So February, Gemini, you have the Two of Wands. So this is an interesting energy because you went from Three of Wands in January and then the Two of Wands in February. So it feels like it's not like a step back. It just feels like you're still working with that creativity and that passion, but you might have known kind of what you wanted to do with it in January, and then in February, you're kind of almost sort of questioning the next direction. It's like you make the first choice and then the second choice you make the first choice and then the next step is to make another set of choices. And this one is maybe a little bit more challenging to you. There could be several different ways of doing something or two different ways. It's like you're at a crossroad and you kind of just have to determine which way is going to be the best for you. And that's going to be really individual and subjective. So it's just kind of like, what feels right for you? What really feels the most aligned? And yeah, maybe both ways are good, but it's just really deducing, what is best for you, what feels more, what just feels better for you. Oh my God. And then you have the Three of Wands again from a different deck. So yeah, you guys are definitely working on some kind of a project or marketing. This could be travel overseas or like emails and things like that. This can really represent just communication. It can be sales as well. So, like this is the Merchant card. So he's decided what he wants to do after that Two of Wands, and then he moves forward with that project. He's a boss. He markets, he sells. He's able to communicate with large numbers of people to create that network that he needs to be able to sell and market his products. So this is like huge for you guys, Gemini. It feels like you're really actually creating something and selling it or marketing it or growing your business or something like that. Love is definitely part of this, but I'm definitely getting a more creative business vibe for you guys already. But that being said, you also have a personal issue reaches resolution. So as we saw in January, there's something there with the feminine energy, family potentially, and needing to release something and kind of set yourself free. So in February, it looks like you actually do a lot of really good work in the beginning of the year, and you're able to release that in some way. So full moon in Cancer's also to do with family. So it's your relationships. There's something that's coming to a resolution either within yourself or within a dynamic family or partnerships or relationships of any kind, really. You have thinker. Well, that's very Gemini energy. Geminis are thinkers, very air sign quality, being very much up in the mind, super intellectual and creative in that sense. So take the time to think about whatever it is that you need to focus on this month in February that will help you to resolve some of these questions that you may have. It's almost like you resolve the family issue in February and then you're able to continue moving forward with your career or with your projects or something like that. It feels like you're releasing something in your heart that then frees up more space for you to express your creativity in a really authentic, empowered way. And that's so funny, I just said empowerment or an empowered way, and then you have the empowerment card. So yeah, you're definitely stepping into your empowerment in February in a really huge way. This is like your authentic energy. That's the thinker, right? You are that energy. So you're stepping into that in a really powerful way and expressing that to the world in communication. So I'm really sensing communication for you guys in 2021, specifically January and February so far. Wow, you have searing presence too. The cards you're getting from these are super intense. Like this deck is the goddess crystal deck, I think. I can't remember, but these two cards in particular are super, super intense energy. The Untamed is super wild, and Searing Presence is also kind of, it's like, it's something so intense and vibrationally different than what you're used to, that it's kind of going to feel uncomfortable to you, but at the same time, it's going to be really liberating. That's what I'm sensing. So that's great. So let's look at what's going on for March 2021 for Gemini. Okay, so you have the 5, 6, 7, 7 of Pentacles. This is a new deck, and I'm still getting used to the way that they do the suits, but I love that it's cats, because obviously I love cats. So this is the 6 of Pentacles, and it looks to me like he's just getting those treats out of the ball. So it's almost like he's playing with it, and he's getting rewarded for something that he's also enjoying. So it's kind of like 2 birds, 1 stone, or no, that's not super... that's not a good analogy. It's more like when you do something that you enjoy and you do it playfully and just for fun for yourself, you're actually going to get rewards that come from that. So in March, you might be seeing some of those rewards coming in, especially when it comes to working with other people, because you have the 3 of Pentacles. So you seem to have this 3 theme going on. The 3 of Wands showed up twice, and now you have the 3 of Pentacles in the first 3 months. So 333, you guys, that's new beginnings, self-expression, creativity, divinely guided, action and expression. And it's also an indicator that you are being divinely guided and that you are supported by the Ascended Masters. So you may be really coming into your mastership as well, because you did have that empowerment card. So in March now, it's almost like you're really putting yourself out there when it comes to your work. You might be collaborating with other people, or just kind of like showing off what you can do. People might hire you, or they might order a service from you. That's very 3 of Pentacles energy. So people might be reaching out to you looking for whatever talent or skill or service that you can provide, because you're very talented and you've shown that you're a master of that. You have, look at the bigger picture as well. So this is the full moon in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is a sign of adventure and fire and wildness as well. So it's kind of along these same lines as the Untamed and Searing Presence. That's what it feels like to me anyway. So March, you might be really wanting to explore or adventure, or just kind of expand your horizons by looking at a bigger picture. Like it's almost, I feel like you're going to be thinking a lot bigger than you ever have before. Like maybe your dream was, you thought it was super big with that 10 of Pentacles, but it's actually way bigger than that. And I don't really know how to describe it, because it's going to be different for everyone, but I just get this sense that it's going to be so much bigger than you expected, and it's going to be really like so much more expansive. It's like it's worldwide. It's like a movement, or you're connecting with people all over the world, something like that. And this is also about gaining perspective. So looking at the bigger picture can kind of help you to keep moving towards that goal, because it keeps you focused on the why rather than the what or the how. Those things come with practice. Those things come with collaboration and learning, and just kind of like trial and error. But I feel like you're really going to see the reason why you're doing this, and that's going to keep you going forward, and it's going to really expand whatever it is that you're working on. And you have Observer as well. So, oh my God, it's so perfect. I love it when the cards line up like that. So the Observer, and look at the bigger picture. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I can't really say it much clearer than that. This, Spirit is speaking loud and clear. It's like, just zoom out a little bit, see things from through a different lens. Maybe something that was super far away that you couldn't see, you're using this telescope to now see it more clearly. Or if you were too close to something and you couldn't see the forest through the trees, now you're taking a step back and you're able to actually see the whole thing. So I feel like it's almost both. Somehow that's being the observer for you. It's like you can observe it from both of those perspectives. And you know what they just showed me? The Gemini symbol, which is the twins. So of course this makes sense, because you're seeing it from the 2 perspectives of who you are. You're the observer and the experiencer, and you're able to kind of put those 2 frames together and see that bigger picture. Wow, that's amazing. Oh my God, infinite blessings, Gemini. Yay! So infinite blessings are coming to you in March for sure. And that is amazing because this is like, yeah, it's like heaven is showering blessings on you. It's like the work that you've done is starting to show up, and you're starting to not only like feel the results of your creativity and your passion, but you're also starting to see it physically in the results that you're getting. And it's coming from your own personal power. So this is not something, I mean, it is something that's coming from above, but it's you manifesting it. You're creating it. You are drawing it to you and aligning with that vibration. So what they're showing me right now is that goal or that vision, that dream that you have, it already exists. So that timeline is already established, and what you're doing now is freeing yourself from any limitations to receive that. That's what that yin energy was all about, and it could have been learned from the way that your mother or your mother's mother or any family members on that female line weren't able to receive. And in healing that, you're able to receive more of what is in alignment with you, what's already been created and is available at all times. And it's just like you're stepping into that vibration, and it draws you to it faster. So this is your power. This is huge, huge power. And clear quartz is also about clear sight too. I always see clear as clarity, right? Being able to see through something, being able to see the different fractals. Again, that's like the different perspectives, the close up and the far away. So yeah, it's all coming together, Gemini. This is great. Okay, so let's look at April 2021, you have the Three of Swords. Okay, so Three of Swords is heartbreak, and it's old kind of thought patterns or beliefs that stem from pain, emotional pain or heartbreak in the past. So I feel like, what is this? March, April? Yeah, April. I feel like in April, you're going to be there might be something that happens. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens, because you also have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so there could be something relationship-wise that is causing you a lot of anxiety or stress in April. So maybe it's like you've done really well with your career, and then something kind of hits a bump in the road with this other aspect of your life. It's like you're working so hard on healing yourself and creating this really abundant career, following that dream, but then maybe you're relationship kind of went on the back burner, and now it's stressing you out. That could be for some of you. For others, this could be like, again, healing some past stuff around heart wounding and things that are still causing you anxiety. These are really, really sleepless nights. So you might be just really burnt out emotionally. Maybe you're pushing yourself too hard, but let's see what else comes out for this month. Okay, yeah, balance spirituality and practicality. So it's balancing your physical needs with your spiritual needs, with your, creative, expressive needs. All of these things need to be balanced. And this also speaks to me of balancing, your relationships with what you're physically doing with your work. The Pisces here, it's like the two fish that want to swim in opposite directions. So that can be a good thing when you're creating balance, but it can also be sort of a challenge when they want to go in different directions and you're trying to get them to go in the same one. So it really depends, but it's sort of that same energy of Gemini. It's like there's those two different sides to your personality, and sometimes they want to go in opposite directions. But when you can get them to work together, that's when you're really in your power, and that's what we were seeing the month previous. So, it's not always, roses and daisies. Some months are harder than others. Oh my goodness. So you guys got time to go. With that Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords, this might be a relationship that's ending. It might be something that is causing you more stress than it's worth, or more pain than it's worth, and you realize finally that it's time to go, and you end up, leaving the relationship or ending the friendship or leaving the job or whatever it is. So yeah, okay. Interesting. And that the reason that you need to go is because it may be throwing off your balance between spirituality and practicality. It's stressing you out, and it's causing other issues. You have culmination of vision here too. So I feel like this is you guys really, again, it's like taking those two different perspectives, the one from close up and the one from far away, putting them together and seeing things really clearly. It's like you started to get a taste of that the month before, and then in this month you're like, okay, I finally get it. Things kind of come to that really, really clear perspective, and you see something maybe that you kind of saw before, but you were maybe rationalizing or, you know, kind of deluding yourself almost, like you didn't want to believe it. You didn't want to admit that it was like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, yeah, this is an issue and I see it clearly for what it is and I know what I need to do. Wow, and you have higher will too. So this is like, yeah, it feels like that higher vision is divinely guided and you're finally seeing something clearly, because it's your higher self seeing this now, not your ego or your mind that tries to kind of prevent change, or is the one that gets stressed out because it doesn't like change and it wants to, you know, kind of resist that. It feels like this higher will comes in to help you to, oops, that goes here. Yeah, it's like that higher will comes in to help you to move through this transition, through this change in a way that's going to benefit you long term. It's like it's for your soul. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at May 2021. You have Justice. So Justice is this balance. It's in this card, it's the cat biting this person's hand or foot or whatever the heck that's supposed to be, or maybe it's another cat, I don't know. But there's justice here. Maybe somebody deserved something. I don't always see justice like that. It's usually like about balance and fairness for me. It's not always like, okay, somebody deserved this or that, but I kind of feel like just based on what you had the previous month, it's almost like, yeah, you're doing what's fair for you, and that might not be what the other person thinks is fair, but you're doing what's fair for you, and that's necessary. And then you have the Star card. So yeah, there's hope and healing that comes after this, you know, painful experience, this ending of some kind, this breakup or this transition in the month before. So it's like you guys are gaining that renewal that you need to be able to keep moving forward, because that pain, that Three of Swords energy in the heart, it needs a little bit of time. You know, there's a grief process, there's a healing process that needs to come after that. So, you know, the next month you're getting that a little bit. So that's nice. And then you have You Are Good Enough. Yes, Gemini, you are good enough. And this is the full moon in Virgo. So this can help you to, release things that are keeping you from your grounded nature and being able to know that you deserve the best. Not only the best relationship, but also the best life, you know, love, experiences, joy. You deserve all of those things because you are good enough. Your best is enough. You are enough. And you have Go the Distance as well. So the Star card also speaks of keeping a dream alive by seeing it far away. So it's like you're not quite there yet, and you've been putting in a lot of work, and it's been growing and it's been taking off, but it's like, then there's that setback, right? That's that setback that happened in the last month. And then in this month, you're like, okay, well, I'm getting a little bit of hope and renewal. I can start to see my vision again in the distance. And you're like, you know what? I can do this. I can go the distance. I am good enough. I can do this. And even though there were some challenging times and there were some things that I had to let go of and there was some pain, it's like, I am good enough and I can still do this. I'm resilient, I'm a survivor, I am a thriver, and I will create my reality because I am strong. That's huge. Getting that from you guys, big time. Be spontaneous. So you guys might be wanting to do something that you haven't done, or just kind of be spur of the moment and allow your inner wants and needs to kind of just be expressed in a way that maybe they weren't in the past few months or the past few years even, who knows. This energy of be spontaneous is here calling you an inspiration. It feels inspiring to me, just tuning into it. It feels like maybe you will meet or make some connections being spontaneous in a way that you maybe wouldn't have before, perhaps because there were some limiting relationships or experiences that were kind of holding you back. And then it's like, by being spontaneous, you get these new connections that allow your heart to heal, because the next card you have is heart healing. So you might be meeting people that will help you to heal on your journey, or that will support you and motivate you to keep going, telling you that you are enough and that you can go the distance, somebody who really supports you and what you're all about. Okay, so January, February, March, April, May, June. Let's see what's coming for June for Gemini 2021. You have the Emperor. And the Emperor is the boss, he is the emperor of his empire. He is the ruler. He is the king of kings, and he has the power. Now it's funny because in this deck, the Cat Tarot, he's got one of those, what do you call them? Like collar things to prevent him from biting his stitches or something like that. I feel like this is you guys still kind of licking your wounds after the 2 previous months. Like it was a little bit challenging and there's still some heart healing that's going to be happening, but you're standing more in your power, and you're not fully healed, but you're standing in your power and you're showing up like a boss and you're getting shit done, and you are, you're directing your energy in a really super efficient, powerful leadership type of way. You have the Justice card again. So you guys have the Justice card 2 times this year already. So the Justice card is that balancing act. It's cutting out things that were not meant for you. It's creating fairness and justice from situations that were unfair or unjust. It is also really grounding. I'm feeling this kind of, this is Libra and the Emperor is Aries. So I don't know why they've just kind of inspired me to mention that, because I don't normally read signs based on tarot. Sometimes I do. It's just however I feel called. But I feel like this Justice card is signifying that you're going to be very fair in your rulership of your own life, and you're not going to allow anybody to come in and break the rules of what you've deemed as fair for you. So this is you really kind of like setting limits on what other people can do in your life, how they treat you and how you treat them. It's boundaries. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm picking up on. It's like you're creating boundaries. It's like the Emperor creates the laws, and the justice system enforces those laws. So it's like you get to create whatever laws you want in your life. You get to set the limits, you get to create the boundaries, and you're also the one that has to enforce them. So the justice system is there to enforce those rules, those laws, those limits, right? And it's what keeps everything in order. Without that order, there would be anarchy. So it's creating, that stability for yourself through some of those boundaries. Ooh, you guys you are very close to achieving your goals. So this month might be an opportunity for you to get a little bit closer to your goals. That Emperor energy is a boss, like I said, so you guys might be really creating a lot of new foundations when it comes to working your way up towards your goals. I feel like this is kind of like a lifelong goal. It's not something that happens overnight, but you're making such huge progress, Gemini. It's like you can definitely go the distance. I mean, you literally had that card, and you've had some setbacks, you've had some challenges, you've had some pain, some trauma, some healing, but you've also had so much inspiration and higher communication. I feel like you're very inspired by this divine energy within you. You're listening to your higher self, you're listening to your guidance, you're moving forward in a really significant and determined way. So that's really profound. I like that. You have truth be told. So you guys might be telling the truth, or just being really upfront with your word. That Justice card and this card both really speak to me of fairness in communication. So you guys might be really communicating what is your truth to the world. The Emperor being, that global platform that you can kind of communicate from. There's heart healing here as well, because there's the window to his heart. This owl is also a representation of death and rebirth, but it's also the wisdom that come from the death and rebirth process. So it's like you've transformed, you've completely gone through so many changes, and now it's like you're able to feel and see the difference in yourself in a big way by opening up and being receptive. And you are worth it. So lots of validation from Spirit here coming through. You had that you are good enough card. You have you are worth it. So what you're working towards, it's like putting in the effort is for you. It's not for anybody else. These achievements that you're striving towards, the goals that you have, the needs that you have that need to be met, the boundaries, all of it, it's for you. And you're worthy of that. You are worth it. You're worth the time. You're worth the effort. And you know that deep down. That's why you're striving. That's why you're going. That's why you're making changes to your relationships and why you're doing this intense heart healing. So I'm proud of you, Gemini. Keep it up. You're really doing great. And in the times that you feel like you're not, remind yourself that you are, because your best is enough and your best changes from day to day. Crossroad of destiny. Oh my God, you guys, this is big. You guys have like this really fated, destined type of energy about you. Whatever it is that you're working towards, whatever it is that you're doing with your energy, your time, your focus, your creativity, it's destined and it's going to come to fruition. Now, the crossroad of destiny, it kind of brings you to this point of fate where you have a decision to make. So that Justice card might be also kind of, the scales of balance are there to help you make that decision. So it's like you're weighing two options up and seeing if you align with one over the other. And this could also be to do with how you perceive your self-worth. So it's kind of like, if there's two options and one of them seems unattainable to you, the balance that you've created in your life and the work that you've been doing, not only physically, externally with what you're creating, but also within yourself and your heart healing, I feel like you actually come to realize that you're worth more than you thought you were. And you start to realize that you can go after what you really want and what your goal really is, the really big goal, that huge one that we saw sort of in the beginning of the year. So, wow. So July 2021 for Gemini, you guys have the Queen of Cups. So I like this card in the cat tarot because this cat just looks so content and so happy and so peaceful. And the Queen of Cups is about emotional maturity, emotional stability, and really just being in a state of contentment. It's very emotionally balanced, intuitive, psychic, tuned in. Cats are that way too. Cats are super psychic. And I feel like you're going to be in a really good place this month. You're going to have all that you need emotionally. Ooh, just as I say that, you guys have the Five of Cups. So there still might be some grieving that's happening or some changes that are needing to be emotionally processed. And that Queen of Cups energy is there to support you. So you've got emotional work to do, but you've got the ability to do it, or you've got the support from outside of you to do it. Whatever you need, it's going to be provided. And you've proven to yourself that you can do this kind of work because you had that heart healing energy. You've had some of this sensitivity that you've been working on through the year. So you're going to prove to yourself that you can do this and that you can heal through the grief process, because look at what's on the other side of it. You've got the Two of Cups. So letting go of those 3 cups that spilled or that were no longer, available to you for one reason or another, it's going to help you to step into that Queen of Cups energy where you are seeing that different perspective, because again, it's perspective. It's all about your perspective, Gemini. 2021. It's like you're getting even clearer vision than 2020. So your dreams need a practical plan. So this is the full moon in Taurus. So there might be some things that just kind of need to be sorted out more practically to be organized. Last month you were super spontaneous. I think that was the month that was spontaneous, or spontaneity came up. So now it's kind of like, okay, that was fine. But now it's like, let's get grounded. Let's make a practical plan. We discovered that, you can really go for your biggest, wildest dream and that you're worth it. So now it's like, okay, how do I make that happen? Because you've already been working towards it, but I feel like it got kind of pulled back into that emotional realm again. And now it's like, okay, what can I physically do to make some changes here? Oh my God, you have higher power. You had higher will before, now you have higher power. So you guys are super tapped in and tuned into that higher will, that higher power, your higher self, the universe, whatever you want to call it. You guys are really, really tuned in. So your clarity and your guidance is going to be super on point. So listen to that. If you're getting, really clear intuitive guidance, that's a sign, you know, and that's helping you to move in the direction that's going to be productive for you. Be your best self always, Gemini, and you are. Even if you feel like you're not your best self, you're still doing your best. If you know, like, if you feel like you could do better, you would. And that's the thing. It's like, don't judge yourself for what you feel like you should be doing or could be doing. Just look at what you are doing and be compassionate, you know, accept what is and allow yourself to move forward from there. Feel like you really are your best self. And this month, I feel like it's going to be a very best emotional self. It's kind of like you're coming into your emotional stability in a new way. You're able to regulate your emotions better through your perspective and through the work that you've been doing with your heart healing. And then you're able to use that to actually create some practical physical results in your life. And that's really an expression of your best self. It's balance, right? Oh, and sacred play. So you guys might be just reconnecting with some of the inner child within you, making play a priority too. So it's balancing everything. It's like balancing your relationships, your heart healing, your practical stuff like the day-to-day things and organization and your physical health. And then also taking into consideration that it's gotta not all just be work. You know, some things can come off as play, or, you know, you can make work more playful by turning it into a game or just having fun with what you want to do, because there's that 5 of Cups energy, which was a little heavy. So I feel like you guys are going to be kind of balancing that out. It's like you've been through enough. Like you don't need to stay in that grief energy and cry over what you've lost in the past. You guys know that, and you're moving out of that by just allowing yourself to re-experience fun and play and joy again, like you did when you were a kid. Okay, so for August, you have the 5 of Pentacles. So you guys might be, you know, it's funny because in the 5 of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite, it's like to kind of like hurt people out in the cold outside of a church, and they're poor and they're destitute and they don't have anything. And in this one, it's these 2 cats that appear to be kind of like sniffing each other out and connecting in some way, and they've got treats between them. So I feel like this is more about sharing for you guys. Oh my god, I just dropped it. I feel like this is more about sharing for you guys this month, but let's see what the other cards have to say in conjunction to that. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this is interesting. There may be some ups and downs because the 5 of Pentacles can be a period of downs. But I feel like if there is any kind of a lack physically, that you will be getting it, because the 5 of Pentacles in this card is the cats who have these treats. And so you're going to either be sharing what you have with others, or you're going to have what you need shared with you. You're going to have your needs provided for, and you're going to actually have some luck that comes in to help you get those needs met. You might need to work through your fears though, because there may be some things that are kind of holding you back from really feeling abundant, because that 5 of Pentacles can be a really heavy lack energy, and you've just done so much work, you know, up to this point of striving towards your goals that you might start to doubt again your ability to be able to do it. It's like you have that moment of clarity and you're like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm worth it. Yes, I'm good enough. Yes, I am my best self. And then it's like that self-sabotage mechanism comes in again. And it's just like, that's normal. It happens. You don't clear the self-sabotage programs once and you're done with it. It's a process. It takes time. Healing's not linear. It circles back around over and over. But each time you come back around, the program or the charge or the trigger, it holds less emotional pull, and eventually once it comes back around enough times, it no longer affects you anymore, because you've grown and you've gotten wiser from all of the experience you have in the past with those patterns. So I feel like you're going to be working through some of those fears in a productive way for yourself. You have chaos and conflict. Yeah, so some of those fears might be bringing up chaos and conflict in your life. That Five of Pentacles can be some chaos because it's like, I don't have what I need. What am I doing? Everything's changing. You know, there's a lot of ups and downs, and that can be really chaotic. That Wheel of Fortune is there to remind you that you do have, you know, fated and destined things in your future, or that you have the potential to be up again, but you may be experiencing one of those downs. It's like the Ferris wheel. It goes all the way up and then it goes down again, but it always comes back around. So if you're in that cycle of chaos or conflict, just know that you will come out of it. Laughter can maybe help with that. So you had sacred play in the last month, and this month you have laughter. So this can be really helpful to you. It's like laughter is the best medicine. You know, they do say that. And there's some actual scientific basis to that now, because when you laugh, you're releasing happy hormones, and it changes your neurostructure, and it helps you to physically heal at a cellular level. So laughter is something that we really shouldn't underestimate the power of. You know, connect with that play, that inner innocence, that joy and fun and laughter, and allow yourself to laugh in the face of your fears is what they just said to me. It's like laughing in the face of your fears. And they're showing me an example that I do. So when I'm scared, sometimes like I'm alone at home at night and it's dark or something, and for some reason I'll just have like this random fear from childhood that there's going to be like a boogeyman when I open the door or something like that right in my face. And what I do is I'll just laugh. Like I'll either laugh out loud, or I'll make a silly face, or I'll like say something like silly, or I'll sing. So it'll make me laugh, and it's almost like the fear just kind of poof disappears. It's like it was so real in that moment, and then it's, you know what it is? You know exactly what it is? It's like Boggarts in Harry Potter. It's like those creatures that come out of the closets or the trunks, and they take on the form of your worst fear, and all you have to do is point at them and say ridiculous and laugh, and then they're gone. It takes away their power. That's exactly what it is this month for you guys. It's like you're gonna find your power through laughter, which will dispel your fears and take you out of that fear that you're not gonna have enough, or that things aren't gonna work out, or that you have to exist in a state of chaos, because you don't. That's a revelation. Yeah, so you guys are going to have that revelation, and that's the revelation right there. It could be other things too, but I really feel that that's super profound for you. So you guys are going to have that realization, that revelation, and you're going to apply that practically so that you don't allow your fear to control you anymore, because the fear can limit you. It can stop you from doing things. It can have you feeling less than, and that's just not the truth, Gemini. That's just not true. So laugh in the face of your fears, point at them and say ridiculous, and keep moving. You are powerful. Woo. Okay. So for September, you guys have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles you had earlier as well. So I feel like you guys are really, again, you're putting in the work, you're putting yourself out there, you are collaborating with other people. The Three of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite was those three people working on a church together. It's like the consultant, the bishop, and the handyman, and they're all working together on the plans that they want to create. And in this one, it's just a cat chewing on a box. So I find that really funny, and I like how this cat is just like, yeah, this is my job. This is what I do now. I'm super good at it. And he's also, you know, he's playing too. He's having fun. And in that, he feels safe, because cats go into boxes because they are safe. That's why they like them so much, because it's a small enclosed space where they're in control. So you guys might be working on something when it comes to creating that sense of stability for yourself financially, so that you feel safe and protected. And again, having fun while you're doing it. Oh, Five of Wands. Okay, so you guys have a little bit of chaos and conflict still going on, kind of bleeding over from the month before, but I feel like this might be even more so like play or practice, because the Five of Wands can be chaos and conflict, you know, especially with other people and multiple viewpoints and like trying to work with other people, but it can also be healthy competition or practice or play. You know, it can be anything from people disagreeing about how to build a house to people training and, you know, like practicing for a soccer match together, right? Or, you know, getting ready for a big tournament. It can be either one of those things. So I feel like I feel like it's going to be practice for you on how you build and grow your wealth with other people, and practicing how you can feel safe and abundant through that process. Be bold and make the first move, Gemini. Okay, so you guys might have an opportunity this month to make the first move, to be bold and actually do something different. Go for it. Put yourself out there. This could be in relationships. This could be in work or projects, or just like anything that you want to do. It could also be something that you just feel curious or inspired about, but you've not really had the courage to kind of pursue. I'm sensing like a hobby of some kind that you guys want to do, but maybe you haven't actually taken the steps to make it a reality, but it's always kind of like being in the back of your mind. Well, yeah, I could go and do this, or I could join that group. And it's like, do it, be bold, make the first move, because it's going to help you in your growth. It's going to help you make connections too. So with that 5 of Wands and this energy, I feel like it's more so about you guys kind of like practicing or joining a group of people who are like training for something or learning something or expressing something. I don't feel that conflict so much. There could be a bit, but I don't really feel it, because you guys are blessed. Hashtag blessed, Gemini. So 22 is the master builder number. So you guys are master builders. That's that 3 of Pentacles energy coming up again. So it's you guys really creating and shaping your reality through partnerships too, because 2s are 2 ones. So it's a one person and another person coming together. So you guys might be really building and creating through partnerships or working with other people on some level. This brings in blessings for you, Gemini. 2 and 2 can also be that Gemini energy, because it's like the twins, the 2s, right? The 2s are so significant for Geminis. Even the glyph for the Gemini sign is like the number 2 in Roman numerals. So 2 is a big theme. Blessed. You are blessed, and trust that your blessings will be very, what's the word? You'll be very aware that there's blessings in your life. Make a wish, because you're blessed. Wow. So yeah, this month is going to be a really great month for you when it comes to starting something new, having your wishes be met. It's almost like, yeah, you're just kind of putting it out there, and then you're finding the courage within yourself to pursue it. And then it's like these blessings start pouring in for you. So that's great, Gemini. Divine alchemy. Yeah, because you've alchemized that fear and you've turned it into power. You alchemized that fear, you laughed in the face of that fear, and you gained so much strength from that. And in doing so, you then had the courage to be able to kind of put yourself out there in a way that you didn't before, to have the courage to maybe meet up with other people and join a group or start a project, or just start training for something, learning something, doing something physically. Those blessings are coming in hot, Gemini, this month, because you've got this divine alchemy really backing you up. You are turning lead into gold. Gold. I love gold. Okay, so what are we at? October, because this was September, wasn't it? September, October, yeah. Okay, so October, you have the Chariot. Yes, making some progress, moving forward, getting those 2 sides of your personality, the light and the dark, really into balance, getting them under control and using that force to drive you forward. The Chariot is super powerful. This is you guys really being the leader, you're holding the reins. You're holding the reins in your life, and you get to direct where this Chariot goes. I feel like there's a lot of success for you too. The Chariot can also be about success. It's a 7, which is a spiritually successful number. It's like when you see a lot of 7s, Spirit is saying you're doing a good job. Keep it up. And you have the 10 of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment, a happy home, or a group of people who come together towards a common emotional goal. And it's this really pure sense of joy and excitement and safety and love. Love. There's this huge, it's like, it's a culmination of not only relationship love, but just joy and contentment at having these beautiful connections with other people around you. Hold your vision, Gemini. Hold your vision when it comes to that 10 of Cups energy and the success that you're looking for from that Chariot card. Move towards it like the Chariot, because the Chariot is all about just, you know, it's like if there's a fence in the way, the Chariot's gonna blast through it. It's like they're showing me in my mind's eye, like in action movies when they just gun it with the car and they like smash through the gate. That's what you guys are gonna be doing this month. It's like zero fucks given anymore. Excuse my French. It's like you're just gonna be going for it. You're gunning it. You're just doing it. You're holding that vision. It's like you're holding down the pedal and just fucking going for it, because you really actually have the power and you know it. Co-create. This is awesome. You guys have lots of themes of co-creating with other people. So there's been, throughout this year, we've seen some of those themes come up where you're going to be working with other people in some way, whether it's with your career or in relationships, or with the dual aspects of yourself and your personality. Whatever it is, you're co-creating. So this can also be about, you know, having a vision or something that you're holding on to within yourself, and then using your higher will and that higher power to co-create. So, you know, having those two things in alignment can really bring you forward and lead to that success. You have be gentle with yourself. So be gentle with yourself through that process. Know that you can hold your vision and get you where you want to go. Just because you might not have that 10 of Pentacles, or sorry, 10 of Pentacles or the 10 of Cups just yet, know that those energies are there. Whoop. That fell right on top of the power card. So know that you have the power to create those, and just be gentle with yourself in the process of creating those. Daring rebirth too. So you guys there's been some rebirth themes throughout this year, not as many as some of the other signs, but yeah, there's definitely this energy of rebirth, and it's almost like yeah, you're birthing a new you from the inside out, and through that you're able to create in a new way with others and to create some sense of emotional fulfillment, like big emotional fulfillment. It feels like you're very fertile. Like fertility might be a theme this month, because they drew my eye to Ishtar, which is like she's like the goddess of Easter, when Easter was originally Easter and it wasn't about, you know, candy. Okay, so November Gemini, you have the, what is this? 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. This is great. So this is you actually coming into a physical state of abundance where you see all of your finances and all of your hard work really showing up in your bank, and you have the money to be able to invest in yourself in some luxury things. That's an investment too. Don't think about it as frivolous spending. I mean, there needs to be a limit with everything, and you need to set boundaries with yourself when it comes to this, but you can give yourself, you know, a little bit of grace and be able to say, yeah, it's okay if I go and indulge in some things. You deserve it. You're worth it. That message is showing up over and over and over again. So it's really just realizing that you are worth it and being able to stand in that energy and welcome it. You have the 6 of Cups too. So this is emotional heart healing of the past. This could be a soulmate that comes in, or memories from the past that are coming up this month. Surrender to the divine is here as well. So you might in November be releasing again. That theme keeps coming back up too. So there's some emotional releasing with this full moon energy. Surrendering to the divine and that higher will, that higher power, that's also been a theme. I can't remember what sign had a lot of that message coming through too. I think it was Taurus. So if you have Taurus in your chart somewhere, that could be a particular message for you. Ooh, I just got a pitch change in my left ear. Interesting. So that's significant. You have mending. So you might be fixing something as it relates to your inner child, because that 6 of Cups can be very, very relevant to the inner child work that you've been doing. There's been heart healing and stuff like that. But this inner child, it's like you're, yeah, because I'm seeing these two, they're like, it's like the older girl and the younger girl, and it's like they're mending something, they're working together to create this thing that's between them. So it's like you establish communication with your younger self and you do some healing work there. which takes some contemplation. So you're sitting back in November and kind of assessing how far you've come throughout the year. Maybe you're looking back on your memories from childhood, like I was just saying, or maybe you're just looking back on everything that is relevant up until this point and what you're going to be doing going forward. The lions here represent strength as well, and this could be Leo, but I really feel like this is you guys having and taming that inner power by working with your inner child, because that sacred play and that energy of laughter and very innocent sort of childlike energy kept coming up. So that's actually going to be like a source of strength for you. You also have melt into divine desire. So this is like really connecting with that sacral chakra, the root chakra, getting back to your roots, which again, that Six of Cups can indicate. And really embracing your creativity in a powerful, sort of fiery way. Yeah, I feel like this is really about transformation too. Transformation, regeneration, rebirth. Yeah, it's like from the inside out, it's happening. And then last but not least, in December, you guys have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's like the end of the year, you've got a fresh new offer coming in when it comes to finances. This could be an offer of money or some kind of just like, it's like a seed that comes in. It's not necessarily like a big lump sum of money, but it's something small that comes in that you can plant and grow. It is an offer. It's like, see, she's being offered that one treat. And it's like, yeah, it's a treat that you know that there's more where that came from is kind of thing. You also have the Six of Pentacles. So December might be a money month for you guys in 2021. So pay attention to your finances and how you can take that one pentacle and turn it into six. The Six of Pentacles is a very successful, abundant card. You know, it's like having enough to be able to share. That's how you know you're successful, is when you have enough that you no longer feel like you're in lack and you can share that freely with others, knowing that when you are in need, you will have the opportunity to have your needs be met because you did that for others. So it's like that pathway of give and receive. It's like a two-way street. And when you give, you receive. When you receive, you give. So it goes around and around and around, and you're creating harmony through that. And you have another Pisces moon here. So this is the new moon in Pisces. So yeah, there's some new beginnings in December for you. December is usually like an ending month because it's the last month of the year, but I feel like you guys are going to be more in that beginning energy. And this is meditate and contemplate. And you did have contemplation in the month before too. So November and December are going to be months for you to really be contemplating something. You're thinking over something in relation to your childhood, your money, how you give back, how you share. And between worlds too. Okay, so Pisces is one of the signs that is always between worlds. It's like they're here in the physical, but they're so heavy in the spiritual as well. They're very, you know, in depth in the emotional realm, but then they're also, you know, really like, and they can be very in the mind too and very imaginative. So it's being between those two worlds. And I feel like this is where that contemplation is coming in. It's like you're contemplating where you sit in the balance between these two different worlds that you see within you. It's like those two faces of Gemini, and you're sitting right in the middle and contemplating which one is going to be most beneficial for you to put on moving forward, or how you can make them work together, not make them, but how you can get them to work together to move you forward. Yeah, I feel like this is a transition too. It's like this new beginning is coming after some kind of an ending, right? So we did see that theme coming up. Gratitude and appreciation. Yeah, you guys are going to be really grateful in December. There's blessings coming in for you. You're going to have more than enough, and you're going to know that. That's why you're sharing it with others. And that's creating an even more grateful and blessed sort of attitude. It's like, well, December is Christmas, so there's gift giving and things like that. And it's like, when you're giving these gifts, you feel super abundant and you feel really grateful that you have the ability to share your wealth and share joy with other people by giving and sharing with them. So yeah, I also see that the child with the unicorn, it's like that innocence. Both of these beings represent innocence here. So there's this deep inner child, this magical inner child that you've begun to establish a connection with, whereas before there was a wounded inner child, and now you're allowing that child to heal by giving it the support that it needs, and validating your worth, validating that you are enough, that your best is enough, that you're always doing your best, no matter what it looks like on the surface, that you can reach your highest, most lofty dreams and goals, and that your inner child just wants to play and be safe and be happy, and you're actually really, really tuning into that. And you have descending power to close out the reading. So descending power it sounds like, a bad thing. It's like the power's coming down, but it's not lessening. It's just descending to you. So all of this power that has been on the other side of the veil, on the other side of the spiritual realm from the physical realm, it's like you're allowing that in finally. Through the healing you've been doing over the course of this year with your inner child, with your abundance mindset, all of those things with other people and with your career, they really start to culminate in this descending power that you're accepting and receiving and then able to use going forward. Yeah, the root chakra is really activated in December too. So there's some root chakra themes that were coming out here. Actually, these last 3 months are all kind of about the root chakra. So really feeling grounded, feeling safe, feeling secure within your community, within your tribe, within yourself, healing some of that family wounding potentially from the past through the inner child, reigniting really this whole lower half here of the from summer to winter. Through that period, you're really embracing this inner child healing through sacred play, through rebirth, through connections with others, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable in ways that you didn't before, and that gives you power. So thank you so much, Gemini, for being here and allowing me to read for your 2021 year ahead. If you guys would like any clear guidance for your personal situation, or you're looking for any assistance with healing, I can help you with that. I do intuitive tarot therapy, clairvoyant Reiki, and soul realignment Akashic record readings. If you guys are interested in any of those services, you can find them in the description box below this video. My email is there too, so you can reach out and book a service or a reading with me. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you liked this video and this reading, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with your other fellow Geminis or people who you think would resonate with these messages. And check out my merchandise too. Shameless plugs from a boss entrepreneur lady. Just gotta do what I do. I've gotta plug my stuff because I love you guys, and thank you for supporting me. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.